Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm Tim Meyer, and I'm here with Ashley Page, and she is the varsity coach for the Romeo dance team. Mm-hmm. And Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
And would like to kind of find out, how did you get involved in coaching the dance team?
Yeah, so growing up, my sister and I danced together at a dance studio. We both did dance team in high school together for one season, and then I went on to dance at Central on their dance team, and she danced at Oakland. And actually one of the girls that from the same studio that we danced at growing up, she went to Lance Cruise North, so they needed a dance team coach there. And we actually coached there under Cody Smith, the current athletic director. So we coached there for 2 years, and then he made the move at the end of our first season, and reached out as soon as the position opened up. So we just, we loved working for him. So it was.
So he recruited you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
okay. So it was kind of an easy move. So yeah, that's really how we landed here.
So your season goes from May to
middle of February.
Middle of February. So that's kind of an odd time for everything.
Sure.
But you're late spring and you're into the fall, and then into part of the beginning of the year.
Yep.
What constitutes a successful dance team?
Well, I think that there's a lot of things. So, when you look at just the football season, so, putting out good, nice clean routines for football games during halftime, I think is huge. And that's really when the girls, I feel like, do most of their bonding and really kind of grow together. That's also really important for us as representation for the school, right? That's our whole point, is to represent the school, and, be a part of that whole spirit squad and that atmosphere. So that's really our main focus. So I think, the girls really enjoy the football game. So when football has a successful season, I think that also contributes to a successful football season for a dance team. As cold and awful.
Well, there's a lot of people in the stands if they're successful.
Yeah. As cold as they are, I think the girls really love the playoff games, and that whole atmosphere. So that kind of makes that chunk of the season successful. And then really once football's over, we kind of jump right into competition. So
are the routines different than competition? The routines at football are different than the competition routines in what way?
They're definitely more challenging. There's a lot of things that you can't necessarily do dance related on a turf field. The girls really need a flat, smooth surface to do a lot of their more advanced and intricate skills. And I think just from a crowd appeal aspect, right? Our football routines are geared solely for crowd appeal, music included. They're intended to be fun, not they're meant to be visual and not so intricate and challenging. So then when we learn the competition routines in the summer, and those are much more challenging. So those really play to the most advanced and technical skills that the girls have. And that's kind of the whole point. And then we work through football season and right up to competition, cleaning them and perfecting them to make all the girls look like they're moving and operating as one unit. So really moving into the competition season, the team, I think, since we started coaching, has increasingly become more competitive, and I think dance team as a whole has become more competitive. So I think
you guys lift weights like the cheerleaders.
No, not really. We try to do more conditioning that's more geared towards dance type things. So lifting weights isn't really super beneficial in the grand scheme of things because we're not lifting people or anything. The girls need stamina to get through a 2-minute routine, and they need to be able to manage their own body weight, right? They need to have the explosiveness for the jumps and the skills. So really focusing like their lifting more so towards like body weight type things and just making sure that their stamina is up to par. So really for us, I think that's running the routines over and over and over again. So building that muscle memory, not so much lifting weights. It is super helpful if they, do or did on the side, but that's not really something that we focus on. But just, making sure that those routines look really perfect.
You got a muscle memory, like my golf swing.
Same concept. Yep, exactly. Yep. The more you do it, the better it gets.
Yeah. Well, I need to do it more. That's actually, you got a chance to go down and the beginning of football season down at Michigan Stadium. And you had a chance to run a routine through there. And I was there and I saw it was pretty good. And what was it like to be down there in that big stadium?
I think it's a really cool experience. So it's definitely like it kind of shows the girls and opens them up to like what it is like to dance in college or to keep pursuing dance team in college because the feel is so much different. Even like Central Stadium is bigger than Barnabo, so just even like that is like it's just such a cool experience. So them having the opportunity to dance on such a big like platform like that is just like it's one of those things that you're like, I got to do that and it was super cool. So
makes all the hard work worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
What is your coaching style like? I don't know what it I don't know if you beat the kids over the head or
definitely not.
Are you a cerebral type coach or tell me what is your coaching style?
Yeah, so I think really the advantage of having such a long season is that you can really get to know and have really good relationships with all of the girls. So that's kind of what we do in the summer months is just make sure that, we get to know them, they get to know us, and it's definitely more lighthearted. The atmosphere is way lighter, more lax. And then when things start to pick up, I think that's where we get a little bit more firm. We want what's best for them, and I know that they want what's best for the whole team.
Does it get a little more intense? Is that
100%? Yeah. So really, like when we are going through and cleaning those routines and making sure that everything is perfect. We're talking like down to like fingertips being in the same spot for everybody. So you have to kind of be a little bit more critical. And I think towards the end of the season, even like the girls will tell you, it comes down to like calling out one person and saying like, you're the person that's doing this wrong. So we always try to be super fair. And like at the end of the day, I think they all know like we love them dearly, and it's not like we're not picking on one person. So
because I would probably have a problem. Everybody would have to lift their right hand, and I'd be lifting my left because I don't know the difference.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. You definitely be a singled out person.
It's interesting though that even one finger out of place, it doesn't look like they're all in sync.
Right. Yeah.
And make a difference.
100%. Yeah. So just like really small, like timing errors or like body angles, things like that, like your focus being in a different place from someone else's just takes like your eye gets drawn to the person that looks different. And that's not the goal. You want to look at the routine as a whole and you want everyone to look the same because it's way more impressive when, there's 15, 20 girls that are all looking exactly the same versus like the one girl that kind of stands out. Mm-hmm. Not in a good way. Is
there some techniques that you teach the girls or help them with different moves or things like that?
Not necessarily. So I think a lot of them come to us with pretty extensive training. Most of them dance at a studio outside of dance team. So that's really where they get that like technical training. When they come to us, we do palm routines. So that's not typical for everyone to have experience with that. So there is like some
palm routine. What is that?
So that's the ones like with the palms. It's more
pom.
Yep.
Palm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's like specific motions that like comprise the routine.
They used to call pom poms and I'm going to age myself in the late 50s. Paper shakers.
That's fair.
But they're not paper anymore. So.
No, they're not. They're much fancier.
But okay. So you help them with the pom pom thing and
yep.
And to make sure they're twirling it the right way and everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah, so there's like specific I would say there's like maybe 15 different arm positions and they're very specific down to like which way your like fingers are facing. The way you make a fist is very specific and hold the palm. So that is like the one thing I feel like for some girls we do have to teach them because they just don't have the experience. But as far as like the technical skills and like the overall concept of dancing, most of them come to us with that like background knowledge.
Okay, well, given that you put all that time in coaching and techniques and things like that, how did the season go for the varsity dance team last year?
It was awesome. I think any one of them would tell you the same. We had the most successful season yet, with the biggest team we've had yet. So
How many girls are?
we had 21 girls on the team this year. So that's our biggest team to date. But yeah, it was super successful. I think as a whole, they got along so well. They had a really great bond from beginning to end. And it's a long season, and it's hard to be a high school girl and spend that much time with the same 21 girls.
Yeah.
So that's just a challenge in itself. So from start to finish, I think that they had a super great bond. And I think they were super successful. So we finished 4th for POM at Nationals and 8th for their jazz routine. And this is the first year that jazz has made it. So we compete in a semifinal round and then again in finals. This is the first year that jazz had even made it to finals. So it was super successful. They achieved both of their goals that they had set going into nationals. So yeah, I would say it was like the most successful season
That's
that we
great. Well, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
And so, how do you feel about next year and next year's team? I know you got tryouts coming up. But...
Yeah, so we're excited. We're very sad. We had 9 seniors this year, so we're definitely losing a big portion of our team. But also very excited because I think each year that, with each new year, the team it's starting to click a little bit more. The whole dance team world is very, very competitive. And it kind of takes a little bit of time, I think, to build up to like really understand what it takes to be that successful. And, I think this year, I think everybody kind of got it and it starts to click a little bit more. So with each passing season, you can kind of see like it starts off a little bit better than the last. So we're definitely excited because I think
that means improvement.
100%.
That's what that equates
yep,
to, right?
for sure.
Any memories that stand out about this year's team? Anything in specific you can remember? If you make it to the state finals for jazz, that was pretty memorable. But
yeah.
But what else during the season? Any competitions where you really nailed it?
Yes. My gosh. I feel like they were like ages ago.
Well, don't get like me.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. That's a tough one. I do feel like each competition just, is a unique memory in its own because there's always something, we were improving on from the last one, and just seeing them feel more successful in the routines going out and looking that much better each time is just like really a good solid memory. Like with each passing time, things got better and better and better. So just like as a whole, I think it's a good memory.
I know it's a team, but who kind of performed really well and sort of was a leader on your team this year?
Oh, wow. I think each girl kind of brings their own unique thing to the team. And that's kind of the cool part about like the overall goal of looking the same is that you don't want to be the one to stand out, right? You don't want to be outperforming anyone else. You want to be like right there with the top girl. So I think it's kind of hard to say that there was one person that really looked better or outperformed because that's not the goal, right? You don't want to be the one that's not performing at the top level.
Let me rephrase that question a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody going to college that's going to dance in college, you think?
Yeah. Madden's actually going to dance in college, we hope. Ashley, I hope, is going to dance in college. And I think, I'm not sure if there's any more of them that have plans to do like anything, but I would bet in some capacity they will. It might not be dance team, but every college has like some sort of club or like they're typically like called like orchesis groups, so they like will do dances and performances. So I'd render a guess that most of the seniors will pursue some type of dance.
So they liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's circle back to you a little bit more background. How did you become involved with dance, and tell me about how it all started for you.
So my aunt actually was still dancing or teaching at the studio that I grew up dancing at. So that's like, I would go and watch her as a kid. And my mom will tell you that was actually how she potty trained me. You can't go to dance in a diaper. So she said the second you knew that, you came home and off it went, and off to dance class you went. So it was really just kind of a family thing. We were exposed to it. My mom danced as a kid as well. So
And where did they go to high school at? In Romeo?
no, my parents went to Warrenmont.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, another question. There's the dance routines that you do, but do you ever study other types of dance, like ballroom dancing or some technical type of dancing?
I personally have not. No.
Do you think you could do the Viennese waltz?
I mean, I could try.
I could show you. We used to have a routine from the Austrian Society, and
Okay.
not a routine in Atlanta. We used to be a debutante ball,
Oh,
and the
fancy.
feature was a live orchestra, and it was a Strauss ball,
Okay.
it was called, and then the kids learned how to do the Viennese waltz and do a polonaise. But
Wow.
you guys would be ahead of that game because you definitely know routines and
Yeah.
really
It might
mastered
be a little bit easier to learn, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's its own beast.
Well,
Yeah.
all it is 1, 2, 3. What will be next for Ashley after dance is over?
Oh gosh. Well, I have 2 kids at home.
How'd
So
that happen? No.
So, I mean, we'll just shift into an actual parent of, some sort of sports team
Yeah.
instead of coaching.
Do you like other sports besides the dance part of it?
I do. I don't have like a whole lot of knowledge. My husband always gives me a hard time because he's like, you don't understand sports, because dance is just not set up the same way as
Yeah.
a sport is. But yeah, I mean, I like plenty of them, and so.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Ashley, and we'll wait and see how the dance team is going, and maybe next year in the fall we can get out here and talk a little bit how your season's going.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be right back with some of our dancers after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm here with some of the girls' varsity dance team members, and this is Ashley Hamilton and Madeline Kemp, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You sound like you're not sure.
Madden.
Madden, okay,
Yeah.
Madden Kemp. Let's start that over again. I can't believe. Oh, I know why, because it's a Y.
Yeah.
It should be an E-N, like John Madden, right? That'd be easier.
John Madden, come on. Sure.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Don't throw things at me. Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm here with some of the girls' varsity dance team members, and it's Madden Kemp
Yep.
and Ashley Hamilton. All right, and welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you have quite a odd season, right? It goes from pretty much May to into football season, and early in the winter time it ends. But how long do you? I mean, that's the season, but how long are you involved in dance in a typical year?
Well, it depends if you dance at a studio or not, because studio's basically like year round. You're dancing all the time. And then dance team is just like May to February.
So yeah, like after the dance team season's done, most girls still have their studio season, competition season as well in the spring. So
Madden, how did you get started and interested in dance?
Well, my mom just kind of put me in it when I was 3, so there's not really any
What else did she do to you?
Yeah, and I've just danced ever since. I've never done another sport. And then freshman year, my sister did dance team. I did dance team. I kind of just followed her, and I liked it. So I sticked with it.
And you weren't scared to perform in front of the crowds or anything?
I mean, I'm still scared every time.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Madden? I'm sorry. Ashley. You're Madden. You're Ashley.
Pretty much the same story. I've been in dance since I was 3 years old. And then in middle school in 7th grade, I tried out for our middle school dance team, which was also like game day and competition. So I kind of got my feet wet a little bit. And then I just tried out for the high school team in my freshman year.
And you made it.
Well, yeah, I made JV first, and then my sophomore year I made varsity.
Okay, so it's easier to do dance than it is to do cheerleading because you don't have to talk and do a routine, right? No?
I think they both have their own difficulties, I guess. But yeah, that must be difficult.
I mean, what and then you really have to specialize in synchronizing yourselves with the other team members.
Yeah.
How hard is it?
Really hard. It takes like months of practices because you have to go like count by count what each person is doing, and like everybody when you start a dance has like their own version of it, and then you have to make it all the same.
And I think like a lot of the times through the season we're also changing the dance. Like we were making changes like the day before we went on for finals at nationals, so like you have to continuously clean and make changes quickly.
I don't know if I could do that. Was that hard? I mean, how hard is it to memorize that?
I feel like you kind of just like grow to like understand it because like I have a bad memory, like sometimes outside of it, but like dance for some reason I can remember dances. So I think you just learn and grow to do
So
it.
it's almost like a second nature type
Yeah.
thing. What about you? Are rather tall.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about synchronizing into the unit. How hard is it for you to kind of be unnoticed?
Yeah, well, I got a lot of like positions we do, I usually have to get lower or like plie more and bend my knees more than everybody else because like when everyone else is bending down, like I have to bend down almost like twice. But I think that's really the only thing. But also I know that if I'm not doing something right, that I'm going to stick out more than the average person. So I make sure I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you really have to really work on concentrating
Yes.
on what's going on. And Madden, kind of workouts do you do to stay in shape for this dance, or do you just dance?
I just dance. Dance is like a sport that you do like every single day of the week for multiple hours. Like other
Well,
sports.
they say it's good exercise. I mean,
Yeah, it's good cardio.
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
like
good.
almost like a aerobics class in some ways, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's some of your favorite memories of this past season?
I think one of my favorites was finding out we made it to jazz finals because for the past couple years we made it to pom finals, but this year we were scoring higher and higher in the regionals for jazz, and like I'll never forget the moment I was with my team and like we found out and like we were all just jumping around like crazy and screaming, and it was just a really nice feeling.
And what about you?
I think like the first competition, getting first for our jazz was like one of the best memories because we usually don't expect it, and so when it happened, we were like, oh wait, we could actually like do like really good this season. It was kind of like a motivator for like the rest of the season.
Now, how hard is it to do a jazz routine as opposed to a regular routine? I mean, how hard is the differences between the two?
They're just different. I don't know if there's like a good like
one's more difficult than the other to learn, or what?
pom is usually the harder one to learn because like it's more aggressive. It's like it's just harder overall. There's like more pom technique and like arms that you have to hit, but jazz is still hard, just in a way different way.
A lot of us are kind of used to the jazz style from like studios and such, but like pom just completely new to majority of us. So
Makes sense. What was it like to be in Michigan Stadium this year and perform?
it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize how like big it was until you're like on the center of the field, like down there. But I thought it was a really cool experience and really fun to do with our football team and our cheer team as well.
Yeah, a lot of people in the stands.
It was fun.
So you were probably really nervous. I was there and I saw your routine. You guys did a great job. I mean, really
Thank you.
Thank you.
very crisp for early in the season.
Yeah.
there. Was that a different routine than you normally would do at a game at Barnable Field?
No, it's like the same. We go to a camp every year in the summer, and that's where we get our game routines. And so it was just like one of those routines that we did. We just had to clean it a lot faster because it was so much earlier in the year, but it was the same.
And I'll ask you the same question. Do you do any other type of dancing? Is there any ballroom dancing, any individual dancing at all?
No, other than what I do at my studio, I haven't really done anything else, no.
So
You mean if it's not a routine, you have two left feet? Is that what you're telling? If you could dance something, what would you dance? I mean, individually, type of dance do you like?
I think my favorite style of dance, I guess, would be like lyrical or contemporary, which is basically just jazz but a little bit slower and flowier, and I like doing that at my studio a lot.
How about you? No ballet or tap or anything?
no.
Really? I thought one of you would have at least some ballet lessons.
Oh, we do it.
Yeah.
We just wouldn't prefer it.
No.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. What's next for you after high school and dance and all that stuff? What are you gonna do?
I plan to go to Michigan State, and hopefully I'll be on a dance team there that's like a competitive one, but not like the actual one. And I'm planning to be a speech pathologist when I'm older.
Oh,
That's it.
good. You can come and do the show then. Maybe talk better than me. How about you?
I'm going to Central Michigan University, and like Ashley, I'm hoping to do the dance team. I think I'll just do their game day team though, and I'm majoring in elementary education.
Oh, okay. So we'll see you back here at Romeo.
Yeah,
Schools,
maybe. Yeah.
And you may be a coach one day. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Well, ladies, thank you for coming on to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. We wish you the best of luck in your future, and hopefully we'll cross paths again.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.